English is tricky. Even native speakers mess it up all the time. So don't worry if you make mistakes, because you're not alone. Today I'm going to show you some of the most common mistakes that even native speakers make. So let's get into it. Affect versus effect. Affect is a verb. It's the action. Effect is a noun. It's the result. So the new law will affect people. The new law will have an effect on people. If you're talking about doing something, it's affect. If you're talking about the result, it's effect. Simple as that. Second, there, and there. Sounds the same, really, I know, but they mean completely different things. There is about location, like over there. There shows ownership, their house, and there is short for they are. People mess this up all the time in texts and comments, but once you know the difference, it's hard to unsee. It's versus its. This one trips up even smart people like myself. It's with an apostrophe means it is. It's without an apostrophe means something belongs to it. The confusion comes from the fact that normally apostrophes show possessions like John's car, but it is the exception. Just remember, if you can replace it with it is and it still makes sense, use the apostrophe. If not, drop it. Next one here is could of versus could have. This one happens because of how it sounds. Could have sounds like could of, and some people just assume that's how it's written, but it's not. Could have is short for could have. Same with should have and would have.
Tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Me versus I. A lot of people overcorrect this one. They hear it's not me and John, it's John and I. So they start using I even when it's wrong. Here is the trick. Use I when you're the subject. For example, John and I went to the store. Use me when you're the object. He gave the book to John and me. Just take out the other person and you wouldn't say he gave the book to I, right? Same rule. Next one, less versus fewer. Grocery store signs get this wrong all the time. 10 items or less is technically wrong. It should be 10 items or fewer. Use fewer for things you can count. For example, people, apples, cars, and use less for things you can't count. For example, water, sugar, air. You'll probably hear less used incorrectly constantly. But if you want to sound polished, just use fewer for countable stuff. Who versus whom. This one feels fancy, I know, but it's not that hard. Who is for the subject, the person who doing the action, while whom is for the object, the person who receiving the action. Who called you? Because they're doing the calling. To whom should I speak? Because they're the object of the action. But honestly, most native speakers don't even use whom unless they're trying to sound formal. Who works fine in most cases. Next one is double negatives. I don't know nothing. That's a double negative, which technically makes it a positive. But in some dialects, it's common. People will say, I ain't got no money, or you don't know nothing. In proper English, one negative is enough. So instead of I don't know nothing, you'd say I don't know anything. Unless you're doing it for your own style. Then go for it.
It ain't got no gas in it.
I could care less. This one doesn't even make sense if you think about it. I could care less means you still care a little. What people actually mean is I couldn't care less. As in, you care so little, you literally couldn't care any less. But I could care less has become so common that most people don't even notice it anymore. Still, if you want to be technically correct, it's couldn't care less.
I couldn't care less.
Now let's talk about the most hard word in my vocabulary. No, probably vocabulary is the most hard word in my vocabulary. Alright, literally, when it's not literal. People say literally when they don't mean it, literally. I'm literally dying of hunger. No, you're not, you're just really hungry. This one's become so common that even dictionaries have adjusted it to include the formal use of literally to mean figuratively. Still, if you want to become precise, only use literally when it's actually happening. Your versus your. This one's everywhere. Your means something belongs to you, while your is short for you are. People mix them up constantly, and you'll see comments like you're amazing or you're right. But it's wrong. Native speakers do it all the time. If you can replace it with you are and it still makes sense, use your. If not, it's your. Anyways versus anyway. So, anyways, it's technically wrong, but people say it all the time. The correct word is anyway, but anyways has become so common that it's accepted in casual speech. If you're talking formally, go with anyway. If it's casual, no one's going to care. Now I'm gonna really confuse myself, because lay versus lie. This one's really annoying, because the past tense of lie is lay. Lay means to place something down. lay the book on the table. Lie means to recline. I'm going to lie down. But if you're talking about the past, lie becomes lay. Confusing? Yeah, but that's English for you. Right, next one, for all intensive purposes. The correct phrase is for all intents and purposes. But people mishear it and say for all intensive purposes. The original phrase means in every practical sense. Intensive purposes doesn't really mean anything. I bet you hear this one all the time. Irregardless. So, regardless means without regard. Irregardless technically means nothing. It's not a word. It's a mix of irrespective and regardless. But it's used so often that dictionaries have added it as a non-standard term. But still, if you want to sound Polish, stick with regardless. And that's it, guys. These are some of the most common mistakes even native speakers make, and now you know how to avoid them. The cool part, even if you mess up, native speakers are doing it too, so it's not a big deal. Just keep practicing, stay confident, and focus on being understood. That's it.